swords or blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave, every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean, spirited minds sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night, join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena there's no chance to escape the vibrant lore. Diving deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light, in the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard.
Welcome to the spot. It's time to ignite. Oh yeah. Operation Hangout. The feeling's just right. Chilling with the crew. We're ready to groove. Opinions flying high. Come on, let's move. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Pull up a chair, let's get in the zone. Voices blending smooth like a funky trombone. Oh yeah. Topics from the heart, making us think. With a twist and a shout, raise up your drink. Cheers. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Bring it down, shake it up, feel the beat. With every word we share, the circle's complete. Living loud, think it proud, that's what we do. Oh yeah. Join the club, come on through, we're waiting for you. Alright. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Hang out.
What is going on, everybody? We're back at another stream, another live. You know where you're at. You're at Spartan HQ Network. I'm your host, the Spartan, aka Peter. How is everybody doing tonight? Tonight, I think we mix it up a little bit. So last week, Paul mentioned us do a show about promos. So is that What the hell? Why not? So because of the weather, I wasn't able to attend the show because obviously I was having a lot of outage with the rain. So and time will be on soon, so we're going to definitely talk about it. But we have some uh, great promos over the years. Um, and some of them are fascinating. I personally believe, huh? Because you have the time that promos weren't scripted; they weren't written out for them. They shot from the hip, and they said what they want to a certain extent. Obviously, you couldn't say some words because Vince McMahon had some words who were unforbidden. I have two searches here. I want to go over really fast. So if you do Google, this is one of the searches. So the first one on the top of the list, and I'm not too surprised to see this, is Austin 316, King of the Ring, 1996. Definitely a great promo. And this one, everybody knows this one. The CM Punk pipe bomb in 2011. That one was definitely a pipe bomb. I was surprised he was able to get away with it. They cut his mic at one point. That's how painful it was for WWE. This one, I remember Paul Heyman having an interview on this. Is Paul Heyman telling off Vince McMahon the ECW One Night Stand in '05 before he went on the air, and Paul Heyman went up to him, and this is according to the interviews. Again, I'm not quoting to T. I'm power phrasing a little bit. He goes, "You want to know what I'm going to say?" Like, nope, just draw me money. He goes, I'm going to draw you money, all right, but I'm going to, roast you pretty bad. So, and that's how you do it. And it was fascinating to me at the time. It was a great time of being a WWE fan because it was different. It was iconic. The next one was The Rock versus Hogan. Man, I remember watching that, and it was like absolutely crazy. And it was wow. The next one in 1999, Mick Foley, McMahon interview with Jim Ross. That one, it was a absolutely incredible one too. And that's why it was so good. This one is actually one of my favorite ones. Triple H, The Game, interviewed. I believe it was Jay Ross. Yes, Jay Ross interviewed him, and it was on Raw. Ric Flair with a tear eye in WWC 1993. I don't remember that one too much, to be honest with you guys. It was I think I was living in Greece at the moment. If I'm not mistaken, or I was too young, one or the other. Um, Mark Henry, fake retire. Oh man, fake retirement. When he said he was retiring and he didn't come, he wasn't, and he literally destroyed John Cena. John Cena never give up. 2008. Damn freaking mouse! It wasn't want to cooperate with me. 2009. The TLC pay per view, and The Miz talking smack in 2016. As the general manager was Braille down. If I remember correctly, that one's the one he called him a coward. How he wrestled. Now, if you go to what's called my Japanese CT version of it, it was different. So if you go to WC, is the number one is the CM Punk pipe bomb. Second place was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Man, I can pronounce that. Austin 316. The Rock, the Tomo 2003. Man, I can't even talk tonight. John Cena's 2022. Paul Heyman, ECW 05. We talked about that already. Rock versus Cena. WrestleMania 28. That was a great build-up. I'll be honest with you guys. It was a little kiddyish at times, but it was a great build up for the whole year on that one. Mick Foley in 1995, Dusty Rhodes, The Hard Times, Triple H, The Business, and it just keeps going. Roman Reigns, Acknowledge Me. That was a great promo. Eric Guerrero, man, I'm glad to see him on this list, man. Eric Guerrero has some funny moments and some great promos. His promos was always hilarious. Anytime he got the mic on his mouth, I'm excuse me, the mic in his hand, oh my god, he went off. He went off. Then you have Jake the Snake. Trust me, I will never trust anybody with a fucking snake. I tell you about for sure. Funny story. When I met Jake the Snake a few years back, I was at New York Comic Con. The first thing I said to him was, and this is no joke, you should scare the shit out of me as a kid. I hate fucking snakes. And his reply was, the funny part, kid, I hate snakes too. I'm like, whoa. Imagine somebody hating snakes and working with snakes. No fucking thank you. And that's how I'm good. So, Shawn Michaels, who's your daddy? That's just funny in so many ways. Chris Jericho's debut in 1999. Dale Bryan, Fight for the Dream. Bray Wyatt. I love when Bray Wyatt was talking on the mic. He just had a way with words. I just can't explain it. Fight for Your Dream. The Miz, Talking Smack. We already talked about that. John Cena versus Roman Reigns. 2017. Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar. Ray Savage. Cream of the Crops. Kurt Angle, You Suck. The Era Respond. Cody Rhodes, Finish the Story. The Undertaker, Judgment Day. And John Cena, The Rock has notes on his wrist. Oh man, I remember that when The Rock came out to roast Cena, and he had his promos on his wrist. Man, oh man, he got that. And it was just one of those things. Oh my god. Guys, if you ever say hi in the comments, just do me a favor, say hi in the comments. That'll be, the life of see who's out there. I want to see who's out there tonight to really get the show going on with my buddy Anton. Another honorable mentions I have here is these guys are always really good on the mic. When or how was Hulk Hogan, Bray Hart, Edge, Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, Bacon Lynch, LA Knight, Dwayne McIntyre, I can't pronounce his name, Seth Rollins, and Becky Belair. So let's get this son of a bitch in here. He's from Planet Vegeta. He has no idea what Planet Vegeta is. So let's bring him in here. Anton, what's up, my man?
What's going on, Peter?
What is going on? So we're talking about, the best promos.
Oh, wow.
I just made a list. My favorite one is always the Rock's The Game. When he says, I am the game. Remember that?
Yes. Rock has always had some great promos that you can never go wrong with. You can't get wrong with The Rock.
No, that was Triple H.
Oh, that was Triple H, yeah. Triple H, you can never go wrong. My fault.
I literally just watched as I was in the shitter. Best time to watch. Remember when Rock came back and I think Triple H was just getting into this authority role kind of thing.
Right.
And they were like nose to nose, like, you back up. No, you back up on 3. 1, 2. And like they went back up, and his wife comes out with like, "Will you guys give her up? Let's get dinner, and I can kick your ass anytime." They were going back and forth, and it was just one of those things. It was like, come on, you know what I'm saying?
I went to Gemini and I pulled up a list.
I did too.
Yeah. What'd you get? Like, who did they say?
So I have 20 of them. So do your list first. I'll go over this again.
All right. I went to Gemini Flash. They gave me Dusty Rhodes. Of
right,
course,
hang on
hard
a second.
time.
I got to give 2 shout outs here. So I have my son in the house. So I want to say a shout out to him, obviously.
Okay.
And his lovely friend Norma is in this house too. Let's give a nice shout out to her too. So I don't want him to get a little upset about me shouting out. So I got to go give to those 2 young adults a shout out. And isn't this past your bedtime, guys?
I think so.
Man, I gotta roast my son. I have to. I'm sorry. I can't. He's not one day I don't break his little balls.
Yeah, you have to. That's the fun part.
All right, go ahead. Let me hear your list, bro.
All right, you got Dusty Rhodes. Always talking about hard times. Ric Flair, of course.
Oh, I gotta put Ric Flair in the list.
Yeah, definitely. Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have to. The cream of the crop. Of course, you got to give it to The Rock himself. He's always had great ones like It Doesn't Matter, SmackDown Hotel.
But here's the thing with The Rocks, really fast. The thing about The Rocks, they were classy, they were good, they were shooting for the hip, and they were fun as fuck.
Oh yeah, you could tell that there's some that try hard not to break character. Like, this mother, like, they try
really fast. My favorite promo of the modern one, the newer one, the scripted one, and I don't think this part was scripted. When Sami's saying, and it makes me crack up. Well, they were in the ring, all of them, the bloodline.
Yes,
trying to talk their different style. And he goes to Roman, I think he said, like, Jay's not being, it was Jimmy, I can't remember who it was. He's not being too oozy. And he's even like, all of them go. He's up. I was laughing. He goes like he's on Roman Reigns, like, look around.
He's trying hard, like, dude, you really have to do this.
You motherfucker.
Oh man, and 3 they had to give honorable mention to on this list. Stone Cold when he won King of the Ring in '96. Austin,
absolutely. You gotta put that on the list. You have to put that on the list. Stone Cold says at 316. That's where I started from, guys.
Exactly. CM Punk in the pipe bomb.
That's ballsy.
Yeah.
And he has 2 pipe bombs now.
That was the first one. And of course, the man himself, we have to give him his flowers. Rowdy Piper.
You think he had good promos?
Piper's Pit?
I'm asking you a question. No, I'm not asking myself a question, fucker. I'm asking you.
Yeah. Piper's Pit, you can't go wrong. Like, you had Piper's Pit. You had the barbershop with Brutus Beefcake.
Okay. I'll give you that.
You had Brother Love, and I forgot what it was called, but you had Brother Love and his thing, I love you. In that white suit with that bright red face. Come on now. It was hard to give.
I remember Jericho having I can't remember what his called. His
Raw's Jericho, I think it was.
Yeah, whatever it was. He had some pretty good ones too.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You know who had really good promos always? There was 2 of them together. You know who they are? Tag team.
Tag team?
Yes. And they are still working for WWE, but not as a performer anymore. That's your clue.
The APA?
Nope.
Really?
Nope. And they're the funniest promos ever, I think, as a tag team. D-Generation X.
Oh, yes. Yes.
When Triple H and Shawn Michaels were doing it by themselves.
Oh, yes.
When they do a little people's court. and they were looking around. All of a sudden, they got dragged by their feet, and like, oh, my favorite one. And when they're trying to bring Shawn Michaels, he walked away from the dinner. Oh, come on, Shawn, whatever. And he was working as a cook, and he super kicks this girl in the face. And you see all the food flying. And the funny part with Shawn Michaels at that time, he was just became a reborn Christian, so he had to watch what he was doing, and he went up to listen, guys. I'm not doing these BJs. I'm not doing this sexual stuff, or I gotta watch I don't curse anymore. You know, a lot of stuff he watched. So they said that's fine. Triple H did all the perverse
all
stuff.
crazy stuff. Yeah, he didn't mind doing the risque stuff. That's right.
Yeah, and he was funny too. The window side was Southern Slider. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we could see what when he was talking. But go ahead, finish your list.
But that's my list right there. I mean, but those right there and the honorable mentions and the ones that often get overlooked, Brother Love, the Barbershop, they all were great. They all had great promos.
You know what? I'm surprised you didn't mention? Two people. Bray Wyatt.
Oh, yes.
His wasn't funny, but they were goosebumps. And like the way he was like, let me in. The other one was Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, yes.
Eddie Guerrero, when he got the mic, I'm like, you get ready to piss your pants from laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knew how to make you like, essay.
The thing I have to respect, and you got to give him flowers too. Rest in peace to Eddie. He found it's like you give him an opening, he's going to find a way to work it.
That's the thing. And the one I always liked the most, he's not a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
He's a promoter. Which one?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Oh man, he's gonna run out of time here, guys.
All right. Oh.
All right. 10, 9, 8.
No, not Undertaker.
7,
Not
6,
Mick,
5,
no,
4, 3, 2.
I said Mick Foley.
Negative. You are wrong, mister. All right, he's out of time, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to say it was Paul Heyman, ECW One Night Stand.
Yes, damn it.
Vince McMahon. And I just said at the beginning of the show, I know you missed it because you came a little late, like always. He went up to Vince. He said in multiple interviews, like, do you want to know what I'm going to say? Like, nope, just draw me money. He goes, oh, I'm going to draw you fucking money. Well, you're going to be fucking pissed afterwards, buddy. He brought his dad into it. He's brought his partnerships with other companies. He brought his kids in it. He felt he was able to do that because he had a great working relationship with his father.
Right.
Because when he first started, Paul Heyman started as a photographer guy. He just took pictures.
Right.
He snuck in. He took pictures and mailed them in. Like, yo, you want? And like, and if they found out how old he was like, oh boy, you'll get us in trouble. So that's how he got into the business, and people don't know that. People know only the bad side of Paul Heyman, how he screwed ECW employees over and all that stuff. And that's an argument for another show, obviously. Yeah. But as occurring Paul Heyman as an ECW, not ECW, as a mic person,
yeah,
I think he does a great fucking job when he's on the mic.
Oh yeah,
he's on the mic.
He's without a shadow of a doubt. He was the voice of ECW.
Correct.
That's the best way to describe it. And the baseball cap, the ponytail, the cell phone,
the black trench coat.
Suit.
He's never going to bring that back out ever again. That is completely retired after ECW One Night Stand. That was the last time he's going to bring that out. And his hair is too short for that anyway right now. Right. To be honest with you. But he can bring the gimmick out, obviously. But Go ahead.
He was great. Like I remember always when I first started watching ECW, he found a way to draw you in. It was his voice and the music in the background, the chanting, like he drew you in. And then when you watched it from beginning to end, you're like, where was I when this first came out? Because I found out by accident. I think that was like, I think mid 90s I found out about them. Right before I went away to college. Like right around before I went away to college, I found out about them. And then I remember watching them in 96 before I shipped out when I joined the Army. And I remember telling people about it, and they're like anyone that grew up in the Northeast, like when I was talking to other soldiers that was from here in Jersey, PA, New York, Connecticut, they knew what I was talking about. Everyone else didn't know. They're like, wait, what is this? I'm like, listen, if y'all get a chance to catch it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And I think there was one time we caught it in Georgia, and like they was just like, yo, this guy's off the chain. Yep. Hey, what's going on, Braxton? So
And you don't realize it was a different time at the time. You know what I'm saying?
you were allowed to push the envelope. Literally.
Look at Shawn Michaels and Undertaker again. Let's use this for example. They were supposed to get canceled, accordingly. And they said, fuck it, we're going to do this. Let's do it. They were like, we want to apologize. And they're like, dude, what's your fucking mouth? And they're cursing.
No, yeah.
They were doing that on purpose. Another one of Shawn Michaels that people forget about, Who's Your Daddy?
Oh, yes. That's
Man,
right.
That was a very good one, actually. Shawn Michaels had good promos.
Yeah.
And it was very rare for him to slip up. But when he slipped up, he always knew how to recover. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
And that was the benefit about Shawn Michaels. He always knew how to benefit from a screw up of his.
Yeah. But he found a way to ad-lib it and it worked. And sometimes you realize whatever he has scripted, the fact that he ad-libbed it worked better.
Correct.
So that you have to give shout out to him because of timing as well.
Absolutely.
So you got to give him that. Honestly, one person that I feel like that tried a little too hard when it came to the promos, it was The Miz when he had the list.
No, it wasn't a Miz who had the list. It was Chris Jericho.
It was Chris. But I think The Miz was like, I don't know what it was. Was it? Oh yeah, it was Chris Jericho. I also thought it was The Miz. I don't know why I thought The Miz, but
I really didn't like that gimmick. I thought it was kind of cheesy, to be honest with you. But The Miz, he went off actually after like an after show, and I believe what was his name? He's married to one of the Bella twins. What's his name? He's a wrestler.
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, and I think he was like the GM or something like that at the time. And he called out The Miz. He goes, "I think you wrestle like a coward."
Oh,
and he blacked out on him. Like, he went off on him. Like, how dare you? Blah blah blah. Like, and he like, how you? No,
Carter, you gotta go.
It was completely opposite.
All right, and but you have to go.
One of my favorite guys I love listening on the mic always is Edge.
Oh, definitely.
When he became the rated
R superstar.
I can't fucking do that. Fuck.
Honestly, when it was him and Christian, for some reason, sometimes you wonder if they were really scripted some of their goofball antics, or they really found a way to pull them off.
That was it. Shouldn't have hit. Remember, this is a different era. This is before when all these old school wrestlers we're talking about. Not now. There's only a few people can get off script. Very few people.
That's true. That is
but Rock
true.
is one of them. When he comes back, he's obviously on the board. Who's going to find his ass? Obviously, he's one of the bosses. That's why he's known as the final boss now. The other one, it would probably be Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Who's gonna Cody Rhodes? Another one. Like the one of the on the list from GBT is Cody Rhodes finishing the story. That is one of his promos when he finally returned to WWE.
That's right.
And on the record, when that happened, when he was coming back, I didn't thought he was going to come back. I thought it was like they were shooting us, kind of like playing the gimmick.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe he will be starting his own promotion or something else. I didn't know what he was going to do.
I think that was around the time he started AEW.
This is when he stepped away from AEW.
But I remember when he first started, he did all that Game of Thrones thing, destroyed the throne.
Okay, so when he first started AEW, because he was one of the founding members, if you remember, he didn't own it. He was like the CEO or COO or some shit like that. He was on the high board.
Right.
I think Twin Machine Gun guys were on there too. Am I mistaken?
Oh,
or am I
Motor
wrong?
City Machine Guns.
Yeah, they were on the board too at one point. And when he left WWE, he left on, I won't say great terms, but not bad terms either.
Yeah.
But he left a sour taste in his mouth personally.
Yeah.
And they had the throne. That was probably one of the thing. Because remember, Triple H has 3 nicknames. It's Triple H, the Game, and King of Kings.
King of Kings.
And he took a sludge to the King of the Kings throne at the time. I think that was the last match not the last match they were in together, but at least the last PPL they were in together, not facing each other. I think that's the point of that. And I get that. I totally get his beef with it. Back then, when I was saying it wasn't Triple H's call, it was always Vince McMahon. And then towards the end of his career, before he had stepped down because of all the scandals, he was out of control at that point. Like he was on some super shit towards the end.
Yeah, I remember.
And that's another art debate. People say if Vince was still there, we better. It can go either way. I'm not going to argue that right now.
Yeah.
But what I am going to sit back and argue at this moment was there were some great promos coming out of that. Because again, you had to know how to do a promo like that. Yeah. Boom. Here it goes. Rock is a great example. When he came back after an injury, I believe, or something like he was with what was that group he was in? The
Nation of Domination.
Yes, and he asked, "Give me 5 minutes on the mic." He goes, "We don't have time." Blah blah blah. It is, they had points,
right?
So he finally somehow convinced him, give him 5 minutes on the mic, and he roasted all his fans. Die Rocky die. He goes pretty much because told everybody not in these terms, but pretty much just fuck you. You can kiss my ass.
Right.
And that's where the attitude start coming out of him.
Yeah.
And now like people are like, we like this guy actually. Same reason with Stone Cold. Stone Cold was an asshole. Because when he came back, when he came from WCW, he had long locks hair and it didn't work.
He was Stunning Steve, the Ringmaster.
When 316 came out, all bets were off.
That's when he won the King of the Ring. I didn't think I saw that one.
I didn't see that. I have seen videos of him saying the promo, and all bets were off for him.
Yeah,
sky was limits.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. And people don't realize what you need to do to be a top tier performer.
Right.
Because I remember hearing Rock was up for reorganization in his contract. And he asked a simple question. What is the highest, guys who were here? Like it was Stone Cold, Undertaker, and some other guys. Right. I think they were like a 3 million, something like that, 4 million, something like that. It was like a high number.
Okay.
Rock doubled that. He says, I want 8 million or 10 million or whatever. He goes, and Vince says, why do you think you deserve that? He goes, I know my worth or whatever. Again, I'm not quoting. Right. He goes, do me a favor. He goes, go out and learn the business and come back. And then we can have that, and we will have that conversation. If you think you still own that, let's see what we can do for you. He comes back and he goes, I like the match they offer. Like, he realized how much is in the back scenes.
Right.
And Triple H, Rock said, I would like to get like, let's say 4 million arguments. I don't remember the number off my head. And they actually didn't give him 4. They gave him 5 or 6, a little more than the other guys,
Oh,
because
wow.
there's so much potential in him. And I'll be honest, he's one of the greatest. That's why he's known as the great one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no doubt about it. Like Hogan was good, but
Oh,
not
yeah.
as good as Rock. And the Rock was the best. My personal
Hogan. I remember I got just to watch I finally got just to finish up the documentary, the Netflix documentary on Hulk Hogan.
Mhm.
And when they were talking about, they brought up when he made the heel turn at Bash at the Beach, when he became Hollywood. From what they were saying, he was letting out a lot of pent up frustration.
Really?
Yeah, when you could see the anger, and I think Eric Bischoff talked about it. He was letting out all that anger and that frustration. Everything that happened from when he left the WWE, then WWF, when he left that, and how things turned out, the McMahon trial for the steroids thing, and what people talked about his movie career. He was just letting out a lot of frustration.
All right, I'm a fan of Hogan. I have always said that out public.
Right.
Yeah, people hate him because of what he said on behind the scenes.
Right.
Whatever. The person and the character are two different people. Let's get that clear.
Yeah.
Do I say any of these guys, The Rock, Triple H, any of these guys, are they perfect? Absolutely not. They're no near perfect.
Exactly.
Getting hard for my son. But he's nowhere near perfect.
Right.
If you're a picture, you understand also, and you saw the documentary, please vouch for me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen the whole thing. The era he grew up on, that was very common to use those words. Am I wrong or right?
And
I don't support it. I am getting to reality here for a minute here, guys.
Yeah.
Let's talk reality. And this is a white dude talking to a old baby oil black dude. and Anton, you grew up during the era. How often was it? I don't want to use the word. I don't want to use
it was more common than people realize.
Yeah. What pisses me up with our time now, people are using it like slang. Yo, what up? Yo. No. You're stupid. I make fun of people saying that.
I just look at these young people now, look at them like, seriously? But that's for another discussion. We're not going to that.
I just wanted to say the man and the legend are two different people.
Yeah, and I remember Triple H said it best when he said it when we didn't fire Hulk Hogan, we fired Terry Bollea, and that makes perfect sense if you think about it. It's hard.
I didn't know that.
Say again?
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, he said we fired Terry Bollea, and you could see the look on his face, like he didn't want to do it, but he knew it had to get done.
But also, Triple H probably felt like a kind of responsibility towards him. Like, yo, listen, if it wasn't for you putting the ground foot down, none of these guys, I don't care who you are, Bray Wyatt, The Miz, John Cena, Triple H, you cannot deny the work he has done.
And I remember when they showed it, when I was watching the documentary, they showed when they were backstage in Cleveland for SmackDown, getting ready for SmackDown. Word already spread about his passing. And he's at the pre-production meeting, and he's telling everyone, we're going to do, the 10-ring tribute, so on and so forth. And he basically was like, listen, if anyone has an issue, if anyone has a problem, if no one feels comfortable being there, go ahead. If you don't want to be there, you don't have to be there. No questions asked. No one's going to say anything. But he wanted everyone to be there. He felt, you know what? We need to be there to honor him. But if you don't want to be here, that's okay.
It's a good thing. Everybody came out. They didn't care. Like even Booker T came out in public.
Yeah.
I never felt any racism. He helped my career more than anybody.
Yeah, I remember that. Booker T's always been grateful to Hogan. He always felt like if it wasn't for him, I would still be a mid-card or doing the independent circuit. That's how much he appreciated Hogan for
But
basically.
can you consider him a racist then? Oh, because that reason.
I grew up. I'm Gen X. We got thick skin. You know, there was a lot of stuff that went on back in the 80s that people don't realize that this generation, that a lot of younger people now would never understand. They just wouldn't. I'm
So
not going to
personally,
sit.
I'll
I'm
give
not
my
going to sit
personal
there
opinion.
and give him a pass, but at the same time, bro. I mean, that's the time. That was the time. And unfortunately, you know, I think what helped him financially, because I remember the thing that happened with his ex-wife Linda. That was a real ugly situation.
Ugly, it was a fucked up situation, in my opinion.
Honestly, I don't want to give it away. All I can say is when you watch the documentary, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. My personal opinion about Hogan without watching the documentary, and I watched a little bit of it so far, is no, I don't consider him a racist because he was being a father at the moment, trying to get his son out of the in a bad spot mentally. So do I agree what he did? No, but you're a father.
He
You can
was
say
being
whatever you need to do to get your son out of mental health right, right?
yeah, and that's the thing. And when I remember when they talked about doing when Linda went into when they did the reality show, on one side, you know, on one side, yeah, it put the whole family out there. They finally got that recognition, so on and so forth. But at the same time, it brought a lot of ugly stuff that was dormant for a long time. You know, people
Yeah,
were
you saw a
saying,
couple episodes that Linda, his first ex-wife,
yeah,
he's only been married twice, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
Linda and him, they were arguing pretty bad. Well, listen,
yeah,
I have moments with my lady too. We're not perfect.
yeah.
I'm
And
more like, oh, I want to fix everything, and sometimes you can't fix shit. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
You
But
know,
it was just so ugly and everything. It's like, why did the hell they do the show anyway?
I think he said he thought things would be better if they did the show together.
And plus, also, I remember Linda said she looked at it as this could have helped Brooke with her music career too.
And it did. But where's she now? Her music career. I don't think she's a bad artist. I just think she hasn't had that break, everybody, and nobody's going to give her the break because of her name, unfortunately.
But that's the thing; she was able to use her actual last name instead of using Hogan. She was using Balea. So I think that one way could have helped because she could have been her own person, maybe. But also, if you look at it, okay, if you use Hogan, of course, people are going to recognize her. Oh, that's Hulk Hogan's daughter. But at the same time, because of who her father at that time is, would they've given her a fair share?
I don't think so. Because at first, remember, she came out as Brooke Hogan,
Yeah.
not Brooke Barrera.
Balea, yeah.
Barrera, thank you. So let's get back on topic. The one promo I found was classy personally was with what's her name? I have it right here. Becky Lynch was against my favorite woman wrestler is I'm sorry, Stratus.
Mm-hmm.
And Stratus goes, if you want to beat the man, you know, you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. And she was playing herself. And one thing I give her credit, you know, she always gave herself relevant. She always been in, great shape. You got to give her credit on that.
Yeah.
And a fun fact right now, like I saw on her fan page, she's actually in my hometown, Athens, right now.
Really?
Yeah, she's
nice.
Greek. Yeah,
I did not know that.
Canadian Greek, to be specific.
Wow.
Her real name is Panayota.
Wow.
Yeah, and that is the female version of Panayotis. That is my name.
Oh wow.
You know how you have like Jesse's like two names, like Jesse for a woman and Jesse
Yeah.
for a guy.
Right.
Similar cause. Panayoti is the Greek male version. Panayota is the Greek
Oh,
female version.
okay.
Not a lot of females have that name. It's more common for men, but it
Okay.
is out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But she's been my number one woman. Wrestler always. I love how she performs. I think she does a great job. People
Yeah.
say it's the other better woman. I disagree. I think her portfolio talks for herself.
Yeah.
I don't need to argue that.
No,
You tell
yeah.
me who has more championships than her? She does.
That's true.
And who else is in the WWE Hall of Fame who has as many titles under her belt? And she does.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
Exactly. Can't take anything away from her too. And honestly, I think sometimes she was definitely one of those women that had very good promos. And let's not sleep on some of these women too. You know, let's not sleep on Becky Lynch. Let's not sleep on some of these other female superstars, because a good number of them were able to do it as well. So honestly,
Linda is another one that like they had a great rivalry. Those two, Linda and her, and they were on Rivals, and the Rivals was like every time Linda got ahead, stressed like "fuck you, I'm getting ahead."
right.
And Linda fell behind for a little bit because she was out for a neck injury. I'm not mistaken.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a neck injury. I'm not mistaken. Remember, right in the earlier stage of the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
I think she was doing a swanton dive off a bell
The
buckle,
timing, the timing was off, and
or twist of faith, something like the one of those are her risky moves. All right, and her neck just gave out, and she was out for a year, I think. It wasn't as bad as some other neck injuries, like what's his name? He was from the New Day. He's pretty much retired.
Big E.
He's done.
I heard.
Same thing with Edge. He was out for years and years and years because his neck did not.
Lita was out too for some time, also. If I remember, Lita.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Lita.
Oh, my bad.
Their earlier career, her earlier.
Oh
career. Yeah. And those two were both rivals in a good way. Like she got a title. Oh fuck you! I'm going
to get a title. Yeah,
going back and forth. And Lita fell behind a little bit because of her neck injury.
That neck injury took her out for a very good time.
A year, I think. I'm mistaken.
Yeah,
right?
about a little over a year.
Was it a twist of fate or was it the swanton dive?
I think she was doing. It was one of them. No, I think it was the twist of fate. I think it was a twist of fate. I'm trying to remember if it was the twist of fate or a swanton, and the timing was off. And I think that's what happened with her neck, and it was like, ooh. But
she went down a stack of potatoes fast.
Yeah. And it was like no one knew like what was going to happen. Everyone was like, is she going to wrestle again? Is she going to come back and just stay on the outside of the ring? Is she still going to be allowed to compete? I can imagine what her rehab was. Her therapy and her rehab. I can imagine what she had to do just to try to get back into the ring.
Oh, it has been brutal. It had been brutal. No way.
Yeah.
Because it was so much pressure behind that.
Yeah.
And you had to push and push and push.
Yeah. And it's like really like damn, like you on one side it's like, is it worth it? But at the same time, can they really walk away too?
Most of them cannot.
Yeah.
It's not about the money, believe it or not. Is their environment.
Yeah.
They get chills. Some of them get The Rock shows it all the time when he comes out of when his music hits and he comes out, he does this. You see the goosebumps all over his arm. That's the feeling. It's like worse than a drug, they say. If you're in that environment. And I believe if you're in that type of environment and you're working like, and that's what you live to do, obviously the money is a bonus. I'm not denying that.
Yeah. Because I remember, perfect example, Edge, when he came back for the Royal Rumble.
You saw his eyes?
Yes. He was he was in tears like, I didn't think I would be back here. At the same time, y'all still remember me. Y'all still love me.
I remember watching that on YouTube, actually, the highlights.
Uh-huh.
And when I saw him, I was like, oh, shit. More excitement, obviously. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And I saw his eyes. I thought, damn, he's in good shape. His eyes were in tears. And I know he did a little here and there. He did a spear here. He came
Yeah.
back once in a blue, but he was never fully clear to come back.
Right. Right.
After all this time, he never gave up.
Yeah.
That's some deep driven.
Yeah.
He was driven to come back.
Yeah. Because I remember I saw 2 videos on YouTube, him coming out, and it was at some bar. They were showing the Royal Rumble and everything else. And like a lot of people were watching it. And when they heard Edge's song come on, everyone in the bar went batshit crazy. Jumping up and down, like getting loud, throwing beer. They just went crazy. I'm
So
like,
the thing with okay, number, Edge has always been the sweetest guy in behind the scenes.
I heard he's like one of the coolest people to ever meet.
I met Christian. He was cool as shit. I'm not gonna deny it.
Really?
Fuck yeah. This is my earlier career of Comic-Con. I was so getting my feet wet.
Okay.
And when you meet the first couple celebrities, like, and you're just mumbling, and just rambling up. But I'm like, any celebrities, they're always like that when you first meet them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why that was, he was always the sweetest guy.
Mm-hmm.
When he came out and he announced he's going to retire because of his neck injury.
Right.
A lot of people were in tears.
Yeah.
A lot of people in tears.
Yeah.
I was emotional. I was in tears.
I was like, oh man. I remember hearing that. I remember watching. I'm like, I sat there and I watched it. I'm like, damn, all that work to come back. Everything he's done to come back into the ring. And I was just like, wow. I was just like, wow.
Another one that got me very emotional was Roman Reigns dropping down the title because his cancer came back.
Oh.
Yeah. Because his real name is, his full name, I'm going to butcher, Lati Joseph Ahoa.
Liati Joseph Anoa'i. He's Italian on his mother's side. He's Italian on his mother's side, Samoan on his father's side.
Okay. And my mom has fought cancer twice. One was a rare cancer on her leg, and she fucked that cancer up, never came back. And obviously, I've been very public about this. My mother has stage 3 colon cancer. Beat it once, came back. She beat it again, and now we're in the process of seeing if it comes back or not.
Right.
That got me very emotional.
Yeah.
And at this point in a lot of their careers, Shield was done.
Yeah.
But all 2 members of the Shield came out. And they were in tears.
Yeah.
If you work behind the scenes, everybody got up. Hugged them, every single person. And when he came back, 6 months, I think, was it?
Yeah, about 6 months or so, yeah.
I was surprised. I thought it was just an update. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And he said it. I'm in an answer, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that was, yeah.
And it was something like, holy shit. And my mom got motivation from him. Here's a little funny story. My mom is such a big fan of Roman Reigns. And I met his uncle. Damn it, I can't remember his name right now. I'm sorry.
Rikishi?
Rikishi. The first time I met him, I was like, I think it was his first Comic Cons. He was just trying to feel his feet. It was like chick picture, move on. Chick picture, move on. And I usually, if you're doing your first cons, maybe it's like that for these performers.
Mm.
But the second time was me and Paul. So I was wearing the shirt I bought from his booth the year before that.
Right.
The agent goes, "Do me a favor, go say hi and show him the shirt." And we're talking like I said, my mom's a big fan, blah blah. My mom goes to me, I will make out with him. I'm like, Mike, you're gonna make out with him. All right, guys, get somebody in the backstage. I gotta bring him out. I need this to come in, but let's ride for our president. Missing President, how are you doing tonight?
It's good.
Packing. So I got this is my business case with my computers and everything in here. So getting that ready to go. Got to pack. I'm not one to pack ahead of time. That never works for me because I'm always going to forget something. So I'm like a last minute packer. So I'm about to get that underway in a few minutes or whatnot. I got a 3:35 Uber picking me up to take me to the airport. So
I'll be sleeping over you right now.
That doesn't work either. One time I did go to sleep. I didn't get up. I missed my Uber. So I'm not doing that either.
Yeah, I've been an Uber driver.
I'd rather because I can sleep in the Uber. I'm gonna be there a couple hours before. I'm gonna sleep in the airport. I'm gonna sleep on the plane. So I'm gonna get my opportunities for rest. But I'm not trying to do too much tonight.
Sometimes the best sleep is on the plane.
Oh, I'm 100%. 100%. So, but I had a few minutes and I just wanted to jump on real quick since you were talking about the topic. And I think I recommended the topic. So,
you did, actually.
It wouldn't be right if I didn't, at least put my 2 cents in. But obviously, as you guys know, I'm a wrestling fan. And so with wrestling, you had to come up with your own promos. There was no coaching. There were no scripts. So a lot of guys really had to shoot from the hip in terms of being able to do promos. And so there's individual promos that I think are the best. And then there's guys who give promos. So it's like 2 categories. Who gives the best promos and what are the best promos? Because sometimes you find that occasional diamond in the rough where a guy gives a promo, but he's not typically known for giving great promos. But in this case, this person just happened to nail the promo. All right. So those are sort of 2 different categories for me in terms of in terms of that. As far as the greatest promos of all time, in my view, really, I think of 2. Well, actually, no, I'll take it back. I'll give it. I may give it 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A couple of recent ones, but again, I got to go back in time. So probably the best promo package pairing. So it's like 2 promos back to back. These are 2 opponents that are about to face each other in the ring. And so they go back then, they would go to the locker room of the one guy, and then they go to the locker room of the other guy. The greatest
old school way.
Oh.
Yeah. The greatest I've ever heard ever, that to this day I can listen to it like I can never stop listening to it. Jimmy Superfly Snuka versus Don Morocco, Madison Square Garden, where Jimmy Snuka leaps off the top of the cage and squats Morocco. The promo in the dressing room. They first go to Snuka. It's as raw as it gets. It is just, you just get goosebumps listening to it. And it is so intense. He's like an animal. And then you go to Morocco. And he's definitely a bit more laid back, kind of. It's such a contrast seeing the 2 of them. He's got that. He's so cocky and arrogant with it.
Mm-hmm.
He's really got Snuka really wild up. He's kind of like, hey, I got him where I want him and whatnot. But again, if you get an opportunity to watch those promos back to back, to this day, it's my favorite. And to this day, I think it's the best ever. So that's number 1 promo of all time. All right. The second one, I don't know if you guys mentioned it, Dusty Rhodes, Hard Times.
I brought that up.
We both mentioned it at separate times.
That's again as good as it gets in terms of promos. The other one was more like an in-ring promo. but it represented one of the biggest face turns of all time and one of the biggest pops that I've ever seen in the history of wrestling. And that is Sergeant Slaughter. When Sergeant Slaughter turned face against the
Ooh.
Iron Sheik. So they had to stand off. You know, they were both heels at the time.
Right.
They have a standoff going back to the dressing room or whatnot, and then Sergeant Slaughter kind of had his Cobra Corpse, and I think he had this guy. I think his name was Daniels. Was a sort of subordinate kind of guy, whatever. And the Iron Sheik attacks Daniels. Sorry about that. Daniels and really hurts him. And Iron Sheik comes out and he gives this promo and he says, Iron Sheik, I declare war on you. And then he gets the crowd so hyped up. You want to talk about Hulk Hogan and Real American and the Flag? Sergeant Slaughter had that in spades. And mind you, he was a heel for a lot of his career.
That's right.
In fact, he became a heel again when he actually won the WWE Championship, like in '91, I believe, when he won it. But at that time, he had the Pledge of Allegiance, and everybody was up. Everybody, hand on chest, I pledge allegiance, whatever. It popped, and that launched Sergeant Slaughter. That made him a G.I. Joe.
Yep.
And that just really, it just took off. He just went to like another level. What's that?
He skyrocketed.
Yes, 100%.
Fun fact, Paul, he was the only wrestler who had his own cartoon after him in a G.I. Joe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. But it was that moment in time, that face turn against Iron Sheik. And again, keep in mind, Iron Sheik is still kind of hot because of, again, you had the 79 with the Iran hostage situation. Yep. You still had a lot of heat coming off of that. So it wasn't a thing. And mind you, he then wins the championship in '83. Hogan, comes in early January '84, wins it, and that launches, it doesn't start Hulkamania, but certainly it launches Hulkamania in the WWF. And the rest is kind of history after that. And then Hogan became the American hero kind of guy.
Yeah.
But the first one was Sergeant Slaughter. And that promo, which was on regular, it was like a regular TV taping. It wasn't a Madison Square Garden main card. It wasn't a main event or anything like that. It was in where they used to tape those shows, I think, in PA, just outside of Philly, PA. In front of that crowd in that Union Hall, wherever they used to tape.
I believe it was Allentown. I'm not mistaken.
Allentown, yes.
Okay.
It's about 45 minutes where I live right now.
Right. But that's again those. So again, the Snuka Morocco back-to-back promos, Dusty Rhodes Hard Times, and Sergeant Slaughter's promo announcing war, declaring war on the Iron Sheik. Boom, boom, boom. That's that. So those are the classic ones of the era of the old, the old school wrestling.
Okay.
Now, some of the newer ones, I'll go to two, and they both involve the same person who is also on my top guys who give promos. So again, I talked about what the top promos were, because Snuka really doesn't give a great promo. He's like, brother, I got to get in the ring, brother, and get him there. So he's not the greatest on the mic. All right. But this guy here I put him on the Mount Rushmore in terms of just giving great promos, period. And that's CM Punk.
Yes.
And the two promos that he get. Now, I can give, if you want to talk about individual promos, his kind of shoot promo where he kind of leaves the company and he kind of sits down and kind of spills the tea on the business.
The first pipe bomb. Pipe bomb.
You want to put that up there, you can. That's almost like an infamous kind of thing. It wasn't like, it didn't promote the business, but he just spitballed, and that was it.
He took down that wall. He took down that fourth wall, especially when he was in the ring with Triple H,
Yeah.
And when he got his face, it was like, this isn't CM Punk talking to Triple H. This is Phil Brooks talking to Paul Levesque.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's rare for
Yeah.
promo to use, for the superstars to use their given names.
Right.
Rarely you hear it. Rarely.
Yeah.
And when he got in Triple H's face, you can tell Triple H had you really want to make this personal, huh?
Mhm. And actually, I got to make a correction. I'm having a brain freeze. I will put that in the promo category. I still credit CM Punk as one of the best promo artists.
Okay.
He's up there. So put him on the Mount Rushmore. Boom, he's there. That promo I'll put on its own. But again, it's kind of hard to call a promo, but whatever you want to call it, it's one of the most infamous times in wrestling history. So put that there. What I'm talking about, though, it didn't involve CM Punk. It actually involved Daniel Bryan. Again, this is a face-off promo. That's one of the best I've ever heard. Daniel Bryan and John Cena. And they have this face-off in the ring where basically you have Daniel talking about his indie background. And that basically saying that John Cena didn't pay his dues in the business like guys who came up through the indie circuit. It was like a real kind of shoot sort of thing. And then John Cena kind of gives it back to him. So you know how it is. You get the mic, you do yours. Guy takes the mic and go like back and forth.
Right.
That was like a shoot. Because John kind of came back. It's like, you want to spend your time in VFW halls, go ahead. But it was a real kind of like, it's almost that conversation that people are having, especially if you're an OG wrestling fan, but nobody talks about. So he just he going there with it. So that confrontation, Cena and Daniel Bryan, the indies versus the big time, or the whole you haven't paid your dues sort of thing, that's right up there as far as one of my top face-off promos. The other one, another face-off promo. I got to go to, again, John Cena and The Rock. When The Rock basically, again, so everybody kind of went in at, Fruity Pebbles and just all that stuff or whatever. And, again, John kind of gives a shoot. He's like, look, you hating, but again, my main audience is kids. Yes, I'm a big kid. My audience is kids. You see all the charity work that he does with the cancer patients and everything. Yeah, that's his thing. And he was proud of it. And he wasn't going to be cool like The Rock or whatever and all that kind of thing. But again, it was a defense of why he does what he does. Why he puts up with the Cena sucks chance versus the John Cena chance or whatever. And he just takes it all in stride. Everyone's calling him a fake. Everyone's calling him a phony. And why he's coming out dressing like a kid all the time. And he gives us defense. I thought that in terms of more of the modern era, I thought that was one of the better promos that I heard. It's not like what they used to do in the 70s and the 80s, but it was right up there with that. So I would say those promos, the Snuka Morocco promo, the Hard Times promo, the Sergeant Slaughter promo, the Daniel Bryan, John Cena promo, and the John Cena Rock promo. That's 5.
Right.
My top 5 promos of all time are those. Now, as far as artists, I already mentioned CM Punk. Number 2 up there, I'm putting Don Morocco. Don Morocco constantly delivered on the mic. He just had that gift of gab. He can pull it off. The third guy is Jake Snake Roberts. Again, he could be face, he could be heel, he could be evil, whatever, but he always was able to pull that off in terms of promos. And again, it wasn't always the same promo all the time.
Right.
So I got to put him up there. Dusty Rhodes, I got to put up there also.
Yep.
Right there. And it's interesting, if I mention Dusty Rhodes, then I got to mention Superstar Billy Graham. Because if you listen to both of them, they stole from one another. They were kind of cut from the same cloth in terms of giving promos, the rhyming, the rapping, but obviously Superstar, he broke the mold because he had the body to go with it. At the time in the 70s, very few people looked like Superstar Billy Graham. He was the blueprint for Jesse Ventura. He was the blueprint for Hulk Hogan. All these guys wanted to be Superstar Billy Graham. So he had the body. He didn't have the greatest wrestling skills, but he had the body and he had the mic skills to go with it. And that's why it was so hot. In fact, it got so hot that they were kind of, he was trying to convince, and everybody was saying, don't put the title on Bob Backlund. Because Superstar as a heel, and that's the thing, as a heel, Superstar Billy Graham was selling out Madison Square Garden as a heel. And again, the WWF at that time, they didn't like a lot of heel champions. You weren't meant to be a heel champion for a long period of time. He held the title for nearly a year. And he was selling out. And so, but Vince McMahon Sr., this was a senior move. And because apparently Senior was a man of his word, he promised he was going to put the belt on Backlund because he wanted the all-American, good, clean, squeaky kid image. He kept his promise. If it was Vince Jr., he would not have put the title on Backlund. Because, in fact, what he probably would have done, because Superstar Billy Graham as a heel was so popular, he could have turned Superstar Billy Graham face. And he would have been Hulk Hogan. You would not have had Hulk Hogan if Vince McMahon Jr. came in maybe about 6 months earlier. It would have been Superstar Billy Graham. That's how hot he was in the New York territory. Now, again, Hogan, for the long term in the business, he was a better choice because I think he could do more. He was more athletic. I said Superstar was relatively limited in terms of his physicality in the ring. He could take good bumps, but he wasn't the athlete. But no question, he was hot. So those are my top promo artists. Guys who could just get them, you give them the mic, and they go off. Now, again, there's some honorable mentions. A lot of people are going to say Ric Flair. I'm not a fan because it got old after a while. The limousine riding, jet plane flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun gimmick, it got old. Yeah, we know what you're going to say. It's almost like the Hulk Hogan.
Don't forget the Rolex
What you're going to do when Hulkamania runs wild on you and he's 22 pounds. Yeah, we get it. It's like it's routine after a while. The guys I'm mentioning, again, off the cuff, on the fly, they can give great promos on almost any subject, go any direction, get you emotionally going to another area. Rick was going to be Rick. He's going to come out in his $1,000 alligators on and his Rolex watch and his custom-made suit and the hair and everything. It's like it's Ric Flair. We got it. So I'm not going to go there. The other guy I could mention, but I don't like him. I think he's annoying. I've never been a fan of Jericho. Again, I've never been a fan. He's annoying. He's simply annoying. He's a brat. He's just annoying. And I've never been a fan of his stuff. I never liked it, And again, but I got to give him credit. He constantly reinvents himself. I don't know why. I don't know how he was able to stay on top for so long. But he came out with just other ways of just marketing himself. But annoying. So I never cared for Jericho, but I got to get him credit for the longevity that he had. All the times he would leave, come back, leave, come back. He always found a place to land. So I'll give him that. But Cena, Morocco, Dusty, Superstar Billy Graham. I think those are the top. Those are guys who again considered The Rock. Again, every once in a while he can drop one in, but again, you know at the end if you smell what The Rock is cooking or the jabroni and all the catchphrases that he has, the guys could just go off the cuff and give you something like what I just hear. It's those guys. So that's kind of my list. So again, greatest promos, greatest promo artists, guys who get the psychology, get you thinking, get you either hating or cheering for them or what have you. Because Sergeant Slaughter, again, overall, I was never quite a fan of his work, but that promo, that popped that crowd, that launched G.I. Joe and all that kind of stuff, it's like a moment we'll never see this again. And he really had it also. He could have been, at the time, he might have been the star. He could have been heavyweight champion. He might have been able to have a long title run. If you think about it, I mean, after that pop, he goes national. So again, things could have went right or whatever, but obviously Hogan with Rocky III, with Hulkamania, with the merch and all that kind of stuff, he was definitely that guy. So I'm not hating, and I think he was a lot younger than Sergeant Slaughter at the time as well. So it kind of makes sense. But again, if that came a little bit earlier, like if you want to do that maybe around like 79, when especially at the height of Iran-Contra or whatever, you could have a 4 or 5 year run with Sergeant Slaughter as the champion. And that would have been something as well. So that's kind of all I got, gentlemen. I need to kind of wind it down. I need to start packing and getting things going. But again, I appreciate the convo that you guys are having. Certainly carry on with the show. And did you guys have any questions for me before I go?
Wow. I know for a fact you've always been a fan of that match, that Superfly Snooker Don Morocco match. You've been that's like your go-to match for anything.
Well, again, it's like at the time, like nobody, like all the stuff they do now, jumping out of the ring and splotting people, jumping over the top rope and landing on a bunch of people. It's so rote now. But again, nobody, maybe the Mexican luchadors might have been doing something like that at the time. But again, we didn't see a lot of Mexican wrestling. They definitely weren't doing that in Japan. So when he did that, and the way he did it too, like he goes up for his typical splash, and then he pauses for a minute, then he looks up. And then he's like, okay. And then he's going up. And the crowd just like, oh my gosh. He can't do this. And then he kind of comes off. And mind you, this is he loses the match. He lost kind of like on a bump. Morocco he gives Morocco a headbutt. Morocco goes flying backwards, hits the cage door, falls out, topples to the floor. It was like a fluke kind of win. And so he brings him back in the ring and does it. This is after the match is over. So it's not the belt. He doesn't even win the belt. Nobody's even thinking about the belt at the time. But They were thinking about that moment. But before you even get there, watch the promos before the match. And it is like, oh snap, this is about to come off. You're so drawn to it that you want to go there. So that's all I got, gentlemen. One thing I would say, I know you guys were talking about Hulk Hogan before it came up, and I think Pete, you were asking a question, do you think he's racist and whatnot? I think you can be a racist and like black people. That's a complicated conversation.
That's a gray area topic.
That's a gray area topic, but yes, you can be racist and like some black people. I've seen it. It's been in my life. I've seen it on more than one occasion. But that's another conversation.
Right.
But I'll just leave it there. All right. Gentlemen, continue with the show. I'll see you guys. Hopefully, like I said, if I have time, usually I'm back in my room around the time when the shows are on, so I might pop on. I may not be on for the entire show, but I'll try to log in as much as I can when I'm on the way. And like I said, I'll be back Thursday night. So I'll talk to you guys later.
Trip, and we'll see you when you get back, at least.
Appreciate you guys. All right, you take care.
That was a interesting
Yeah,
twist.
yeah. Never thought, like, honestly, yeah, like Dusty Rhodes, yeah. Like he gives Dusty Rhodes. I forgot about the situation, that thing that went on between John Cena and Daniel Bryan. I forgot about that.
Here's my thing, bro. The 60s, 70s, and maybe 80s suit promos. I was never a big fan of them as I got older, if that makes sense.
Really?
Yeah, it felt more like a rehearsal than anything to me.
Uh,
It didn't flow well, I felt.
I get what you're saying.
The way they talk, and like like Dusty was, oh, the way he talked, and like he took like a South end, a Hogan, like, well, brother, and like it's always the same thing, like Paul
Right,
said, always the same thing.
right,
Versus now, they're having a conversation with the fans,
right,
and I feel like it's more genuine.
right.
It flows better. I feel
Yeah,
not the promos, the way they talk.
yeah. It's like they're having a conversation, like, "Hey, what do you think?" And it's like, once they get into the ring, it's like they're not doing a promo, but it's like, "Hey,
Like
I'm
this one
talking."
coming in here, and like he goes, what do you want to talk about? And that's Cody Rhodes' thing. Like, what do you guys want to talk about tonight? And he always, and I know it's silly how he starts out, but okay, he's gonna have a good promo every time he
Right.
starts that, and that's what I like about it. It's silly, but it works.
Honestly, one person that has very good mic skills, and I give him credit, LA Knight, because he's so, like, he's just like, it's almost like when the minute he gets into the ring, it's like, okay, what's he gonna say? What's he gonna mention? And that's the best way I can describe it. It's like you don't
He
know what
has
to
funny
expect.
promos. Like, shut up, you big freaking fat Loompa Loompa. Like whatever he goes with, like when he drops promos, he drops bombs.
Yeah,
And now, do I agree with Paul saying CM Punk is the best promo? Not really, but yes, if that makes sense.
mm-hmm.
When he's on a roll, he's on the roll.
You just sit back and just let him have it. Just let him have it. Let him
Exactly.
have it. Don't turn his mic off. Just let him go. That's all you can do.
When
And
he did
then,
the second pipe bomb, I know that was planned, of course.
right.
He roast TKO. You know what he said? He called out TKO, like, TKO, lower the prices so we get fans back in here.
I know there was somebody like he had to go there.
And I think Triple H had some say in that. And like, listen, we're gonna let you loose, but behave.
Yeah. We're gonna
And Triple H
we're
has
gonna
said
give you
in
some
multiple
rope.
interviews
We're gonna give you some
before,
rope. Don't hang yourself.
yeah, he let him roast TKO because they all knew the backlash of the fans saying they're expensive, they can't afford them, yada
Right.
yada. We all knew that.
Yeah.
Look what happened at WrestleMania. All these tickets were on sale,
Yeah.
and Maven was outside asking questions: how much you paid? How much you paid? How much you paid? There was mix. Some people paid full price. Some people waited to sell. Like shit, I bought my ticket a little at the last minute. I saved a lot of money like that. But with even Triple H said it during production meetings, all right? And he comes out of production meetings, pissed off, like, you guys, I can't believe this little fucking punk. I'm like, this motherfucker. And CM Punk at the time was CM Punk against the world.
He was a bit of a loose cannon.
And in his defense, he needed time off.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just 1 second.
Sure. Like he was a loose cannon. He just ripped it. He just didn't care. If I piss you off, I piss you off. Oh well.
Oh, a loose cannon was an understatement, bro. He was one of those guys that you were looking forward to hear him talk.
Yep.
And we all have our favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say early CM Punk was my favorite. He wasn't. It's something about him always rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, I just want to knock him the fuck out. Now, I have a different opinion about him. I'm like, okay, I can get behind him now. Because he has a different vibe of him than before.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it does. It totally does. And I think what it is, one person that actually did good promos at times, and I think people forget, Bret Hart. He kept it simple.
Okay, to the point.
Yeah. And I remember in the Hogan documentary, he says, me, if I gotta do a promo, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna be straightforward. 59 seconds, done. And he said it. He knew how to say what he had to say in under a minute. And one of the things I remember when he used to have like wrestling superstars or superstar challenge, like when it came on the weekends, they never went into the locker room with them. You're watching the show, and then they have like to the side, they do their little promo. They already have a pre-taped promo. And at times, Bret Hart, he said what he had to say, kept it simple, straightforward, and that was it. No second take.
Yeah.
And that's not always easy. That was not easy. Not always easy. I heard some wrestlers, when they tried to do their promos, it took 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 takes to finally get it. Bret Hart, he's in. He's going to say what he has to say. He's going to keep it short and sweet. He wants to get out of here. He knows y'all need to get out of here.
Danhausen is a great example to
Say again?
talk about. Danhausen right now.
Oh, God.
You hate him, don't you?
I have to give the guy credit because it's like, he's annoying. He's like, yeah, this annoying little shit. But sometimes he got something to say that makes sense. You're like, you know what? I hate that annoying piece of shit. But
listen, I met him personally. He's actually a really nice guy. But his gimmick, it is a comedian promote gimmick. It's not a wrestling gimmick. And so him going, you're cursed. It works. Because now R-Truth is not the comedic person. You know, he's went sideways. And they needed to reinvent his character. And I do enjoy the recreation of his.
Yeah.
But they need a comedian person in the roster. And
honestly, R-Truth, I give him the one thing I'll give R-Truth. He knew how to ad-lib it and pull it off. And you're looking at him like, wait, what did they say?
Here's the thing with R-Truth. Vince McMahon kept him on for so many years because he made him laugh. Like the belts, remember? Like, oh, you got a pair of belts too? We got belts. Like R-Truth, that's our belts. Like the WWE were tag team champions like us. I'm like, oh, are you stupid or just moron?
It's timing. It's his timing. And I've heard stories, like I've heard the stories from other wrestlers, like Mark Henry would say it, Big Show. Even Undertaker said the thing about R-Truth, it was always his timing. His timing was always perfect.
Here's the thing with timing. I believe if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't.
Right.
You have the it factor.
Yeah.
And he had it.
Yeah.
And a lot of wrestlers have it. Rock is a good example too. Edge is another example.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H has a good example because he has some funny promos.
Oh, that's true. Especially during the days of DX.
Yeah.
And they pushed the boundaries.
They broke the fucking boundaries. What the hell are you talking about? You probably still had hair when they had the boundaries.
Oh.
Simple.
Oh man.
And Paul had some good points. Like the old school wrestlers, you got old fast. That's my thing. It never changed. It was the same thing.
The one thing I found about promos, someone did a list, a top 10 list of Rock impersonate certain individuals. And I saw when he did the one against Triple H, I was like, oh my God. Oh, what you gonna do? I was like, I'm saying,
My
like,
favorite one of that, he went into making his uncle Riskiski.
oh,
Yeah, he rolled his eyes back and everything. I'm like, damn, dude, you're not welcome to family dinner anymore, my man.
you went after your uncle? Come on,
And back then, just before we knew who was related, who wasn't,
Right.
it was that. And it's just one of those things like, really, dude? You're
Yeah, I
really
know.
gonna go there?
Yeah, but he always found a way. But especially when he went after Stephanie McMahon. When he would go after Stephanie McMahon, it was like,
That's a whole different ballgame.
oh my God. When he went after Stephanie McMahon, it was like, wow. When he would go after certain individuals, he found a way to make it work. You're like, you know what? Touche.
And there are a lot of wrestlers that they could have it, but they didn't. If that makes sense.
No, it does. It's like sometimes like you're hoping they have it, and then they find a way to mess it up. Like, oh, this don't look good. Like you sit there like they're not letting it happen on its own, or they're forcing it.
And then another one I think has a good promo, and he's pretty new to the scene. Joe Hendry.
Mm.
Because I think he has a combination of his theme song, because once you hear it, you're stuck in your head.
Oh, okay.
Say his name, he will appear. Joe Hendry, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was just one of those things like you hear his name and it really does get stuck in your head. And he has, when he talks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So really fast, what do you think about last week's Raw when they took the title of Sammy so fast?
That makes no sense. Why give him the title if you're going to take it away from him that quickly? You know?
There were even Wally said there were rumors that was going to happen. I didn't expect that fucking fast.
I didn't expect it to happen that quick either.
What was it? 3 nights he had it only?
Yeah, because Wally said he's probably only going to have from him like, I think, 30 days, he said. He barely had for 30 minutes.
Pretty much. I cannot feel bad for him, to be honest with you, bro.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like you got wrestlers who put their time in, who never had an opportunity. Let them have a run. Put together a story that's going to make it work. And I feel like some of these writers are getting a little bit lazy and lethargic.
I said it a while back. They were doing for a while. The mask wrestler who came out from nowhere. He was wearing a mask, and it appeared, oh my God, it's him again. Okay, the first time was okay, cool. Then a couple months later, you do the same thing. The only one they invented a little bit when Seth Rollins came back from an injury, he had the mask, but it was multiple masks. You don't know who it was. And they were shuffling the guys in the ring, saying, which one is who now? Like, like the game where you put the ball in and you shoot.
Right. It was 3-card Monty.
Yeah.
Who's the Mr. Wrestler?
It doesn't make sense to me.
Nah, it doesn't. And that's not. And to me, I feel like like I said before, if you're going to give someone the title, please tell me you have something written for them to run with it. I mean, give it a few months. Run with it. Let it happen for a few months. And then go from there. But the fact you gave him the belt that quickly, like he got the belt and then he loses it like a few days later, come on, that's not fair. It's not.
And they're going to say, life's not fair.
Yeah, but life ain't, yeah, you say that, but Life ain't the one paying y'all your salaries and everything else. Y'all gotta come up with something better. It's like,
Yeah.
come on now. So I gotta see how this story is gonna go. And I think the next pay-per-view is what, SummerSlam?
I think so.
So let's see how this is gonna tie in between now and SummerSlam. That's gonna be interesting.
There are a lot of things coming up our way, and we are so confused what's gonna. We usually have an idea what's gonna happen,
Yeah.
and confused is a good thing, not a bad thing for once.
Right.
But they keep changing it so fast.
For
and
whatever
that is the
reason.
problem.
Yeah, that's not good. It's like you already have a story set up for these two individuals, and now you got to change it up, and it doesn't always work.
Correct.
So, to me, it's going to be interesting. Like, what story are they going to try to push? What story is going to lead to the main event of SummerSlam? Things like that. So, where is SummerSlam this year?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm more looking forward for War Games this year. Because that usually is a big event.
That is.
That's a 2-night event, I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh, yes, it is now. Because wasn't that same spot for the Survivor Series in November?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Because they, it was Survivor Series / War Games now. And without Dusty Rhodes, War Games would never be a thing.
Right.
He started that in WCW, if you remember.
That's right. I
And
read the story about
the
that.
last few years. I think it was like 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 tops. They brought him back.
Yeah, because if I remember, they did Survivor Series because they would still do the Survivor Series with WWE, but will use War Games for NXT.
Yeah. And it was such a hit, in NXT that brought him to the main roster.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. I just wonder who is going to be the War Games match this year.
It's going to be interesting.
Because you need a multiple team.
Yes, that's right.
So they're going to start building up pretty soon, I think. I kind of see, the Tribal Chief get back in that.
Oh, that's right. It's in Minnesota this year, SummerSlam. Okay. That's right, because it's going to be at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. That's right, because everyone's saying that's supposed to be Brock Lesnar's official last match because he's from Minnesota.
I have a hard time seeing him retire right now. I kind of have a hard time seeing it.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Cena, we saw that coming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
AJ Styles, he said it multiple times. This is going to be his last year, or he's going to hang up the boots very soon. Okay.
According to what I've read up, these are the, as far as I know, these are the featured matches. Roman Reigns against Seth Rollins for the heavyweight title. Brock Lesnar against Obafemi, Hell in a Cell. Liv Morgan against EU Sky for the Women's World Championship. Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed title. But I thought Sami Zayn lost that title.
Except he's a rematch. Or something else. Do we have a Sunday Night Live coming up soon?
Might be. This is definitely a 2-night event. Yeah, this is a 2-night event. And I think tickets are still available. Let's see.
Not surprised, because how the prices are now. They're probably going to be the same thing as WrestleMania. They're going to go on sale at the last minute, half price, just fill up the stadium.
Check this out. Section 332, row B. And I'm guessing this is in the nosebleeds. $178.55 per seat.
They can suck a dick. Because I know they're supposed to be in Allentown pretty soon. I think SmackDown or something like that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look at the tickets right now, how much they are, because I'm curious.
Right. Because I'm looking at a layout of how they got it set up for US Bank Stadium and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Top seats 178 in the nosebleeds. Wow, I can imagine what it's like at field level.
So for the SmackDown event in the 16th, right?
Yep.
June 16th.
Right.
July, whatever. The highest I see one right now, the most highest is about $150.
Really?
Yeah,
And this is an in-house event or for a SmackDown?
SmackDown.
Oh wow. Wow.
So, like, I'm curious front row how much it's going to be. If they don't, I don't think they're going to show that because it say row 103, row 12 is like the top one everybody wants to pick. It's like on a 45 from the ring.
I'm looking at sections right now. I'm looking at sections 324, 323. They're selling tickets for $205 each. And rows 208, 217, 218, 219, 21, 20. They're asking now for 230, 145. And this is a 2-day event?
That's the problem with TKO. They think they can demand the same amount of money they do UFC fights.
No.
UFC fight is a whole different animal versus WWE. WWE is around 360 days a year, I'm mistaken.
Just about.
And they go from town to town all the time.
Right.
They're going to be back here probably in a few months, tops.
Mm-hmm.
Think what I'm saying.
They're not going to get that money. They're not. Eventually, what they're going to have to do, these pay-per-views or whatever they call them, these PLEs, premium live events, you're better off just making it one day and have it on for a little bit longer, like they used to.
Oh, I totally agree. 2 nights is way too much, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also, their roster has been so overcrowded now, they have no choice.
Yeah, they got to make room somehow. They got to make sure everyone is involved. And I think sometimes it's like, where do you cut? But at the same time, how do you give everyone their fair shake?
That's the problem.
I don't know. It's like you always said Raw and SmackDown are supposed to be these 2 separate promotions. And then, like, some PLEs will be based for Raw, some of them based for SmackDown, but all the major ones, like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, those are the ones where you will have both rosters. But now it's like, I don't know.
I never liked the split rosters. Never was a fan of it. I always hated it because you're limiting yourself to what promotion storylines you can do.
Right.
To one promotion.
Right.
So you have a very few people who can jump from brand to brand.
Yeah.
But not everybody can do that. So I was never a fan of that. Never a fan of the WWE draft, they call it.
Oh, yeah. And mind you, this is all what happened around the time when they acquired both WCW and ECW. Remember?
Yeah.
Because when
they got very overcrowded and they had to figure something out, and that's the best bet.
Honestly, I still think if they will allow WCW and ECW to be its own separate entities and still fall under the WWE umbrella, you would have space for a good number of those wrestlers.
You know what? They're kind of doing that with the other promotions they're working with now because they well under Vince's command they were never done that.
That's true. That's true. Vince is very set in his ways, and it sounded like they were trying to tell him to do these things, and he was like, "Nah, we're not doing this. We're not doing that. We're not straying away. We're going to do what keeps working." And
they're working with TNA now. Matt, where in your right mind would you ever heard WWE working with another company? And when I heard that, oh, they bought them. Nope, I was wrong.
so they have an open door policy with them.
Yeah,
That sounds like a Triple H move.
probably, most likely,
That had to be a Triple H move. Like,
or
listen,
TKO.
yeah,
It could have been even a Rock move,
that too.
not a Vince move. No way in hell.
Vince never would have done that. He never would have. He never would have. And I know back in the day, and I know back in the day at times, he would let wrestlers go to other promotions, but then bring your ass back here. Because we're the ones that are paying you, and so on and so forth. So this definitely had to be a Triple H move. A Triple H and a TKO move. And I know Vince probably was like, y'all doing what? We have to. What else can they do?
The way AEW is doing it now with ROH.
Well, we're at Ring of Honor, that's right.
Yeah, they working together.
I thought Ring of Honor was acquired by AEW.
It did it later on. At first, no, they were their own thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what Vince should have did when they acquired WCW. And they got it for pennies of the dollar. They got it dirt cheap.
I started watching Jeff Jarrett's behind the scene Dark Side of the Ring a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't have that channel on any of my streaming stuff.
Okay.
I don't watch Dark Side of the Ring anymore because I miss watching that. To be honest with you, I love watching Dark Side of the Ring because it shows you a different side of these wrestlers, right?
Yes.
Man, TNA was a hot mess, bro.
Oh, really? I heard some things, but it was that bad?
That's why they lost their TV privileges for a while.
Oh, wow.
So the brief version, I don't want to spoil for anybody who has not seen it, is the Dixie family fucked it up. When Jeff Jarrett started...
The Carter family.
Yeah. Because remember, Jeff Jarrett was also part of WWE/WWF back then.
Right.
He came with a guitar and he always smashed somebody over the head. That was his gimmick. And when his contract expired, he says, I'm doing my own shit. I'm done with this bullshit. It took him years and years to build it up, but you know, with his father's experience, because his father owned a promotion at one time,
right?
They were able to do that, but they needed somebody to back him up. Obviously, the Dixie family has the money.
Right.
I don't know how or why have the money. They're probably something. Who knows? I'm not sure how the Dixie family is involved with all this money wise. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, this is the Carter family, Dixie Carter family?
Yes.
Oh, they probably got money somewhere that you don't know about.
I don't know if they own a football team or something like a lot of those, like, you know, like I know Khan, who owns TNA, he owns a football team. That's how he has all this money to.
That's Shahad Khan. Shahad Khan. Tony Khan runs TNA. His father Shahad runs the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Do you see my point? I think it's something similar too. Maybe I'm just my guessing.
Right.
So when Dixie Carter came in, she fucked everything up. They weren't, you know, at the time, nobody knew this, but Vince Russo was the head of creative.
I heard something about that.
And I think he took a pay cut or something like that. I'm not sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it was a pay cut, but it was freedom of writing, and he was the head of that.
That's right.
The writer.
I think we talked about Vince Russo some time ago.
Yeah, we did. I'm pretty sure he also I think he took the pay cut mostly. He wanted to get out of whatever shit he was dealing with at the time. He just wanted to he wanted to get back to the grounds he loved, like back
Right,
in the old school WWF Attitude Era shit.
right, right.
And the problem was they brought two of the worst people in to work together,
Mm.
Hogan and Ric Flair, and they fucked everything up.
Because I remember when I was watching the documentary how Bischoff got Hogan onto TNA.
How was that?
Well, this was, I think, right around the time when he was no longer with WWE. And then, of course, I think the divorce and everything else with Linda. He was doing TNA, and ironically, they're saying he was supposed to be a superstar. He was supposed to be in ring competing, but his body was shot. So they just
Been
brought
up
him.
for years.
Yeah, but his body was done. He couldn't compete anymore. He couldn't perform anymore. So he only came out, did a couple of promos here and there. We brought recognition to TNA. And that's all it was. And he didn't care. But what helped him, because he needed money. The thing with Linda McMahon hurt him financially. And from what I saw in the documentary, he was so frustrated with Linda, he said it. I gave her 70% just so I didn't have to see her anymore. That's how aggravated he was with Linda.
With his ex-wife.
Yes. He was that aggravated with her to where when he was living in an apartment, Linda admitted in the documentary she was fooling around with a much younger guy. Found out the guy lied about his age and was basically went to the same school as both Brooke and Nick.
Okay.
So
I knew that part.
Yeah, so she's seriously tadpoling. But then she admitted one of the things that they were doing to piss off Terry, they would take his boat, go in the bay, so on and so forth, go by where he was staying at, and were doing nonsense for attention, just to rile him up. And then they'll pull off. Once they got his attention, and he would go back inside, they would pull off. And even she admitted that there were times that there was a better approach. They could have done things much, much better. But what helped Hogan financially, one, was TNA, who knows what kind of contract he had. But what definitely helped him even more was that lawsuit against Gawker. And he won $140 million in that lawsuit.
That was the video that got leaked out, right?
Yep. That was the video from Bubba the Lunch with involving Bubba the Love Sponge. Yep, that video. And he basically told him, like, yo, take that video down. His lawyer even contacted Gawker, and they were like, yo, you need to take that video down. Cease and desist. They didn't care. All right, we'll see you in court. And Terry and Hogan talked about how it really damaged his credibility, his reputation, so on and so forth. He gets $140 million. And if you saw the house that he was staying at the time, after the case, when you watch the documentary, you look at the house, okay, not bad. Not bad at all. It's pretty decent. So I'm guessing him and his current wife stayed there. Because even when they were interviewing her before he passed, I think she was in a condo or something, or maybe it was another part of that same house. I don't know. But you can tell she was doing okay as well. And this was all stuff that led up to Hogan's passing when you watch the documentary. So I'm guessing that documentary probably gave him a little bit of something, but the lawsuit and the fact that he got that much money, that's why he was able to afford the house he was staying in. and he was still able to get a couple of things here and there. Yeah, he paid the alimony, but at the same time, the fact he gave her 70%, she didn't really ask for anything from him. But then the biggest shocker was the fact that she realized, not only Linda realized what she did was wrong, like while they were going through their pending divorce, but she honestly admitted she missed him. She still feels for him.
It's hard not to feel somebody after so many years.
Yeah.
Except if they did you dirty.
Right.
If it was like something like, okay, he kind of cheated on her. No, it was the other way around.
From the documentary said, he fooled around with someone in their bed because the maid found an earring. That's how Linda found out about the infidelity. Plus, also they were still had a lot of things going on while they were doing the reality show.
Huh.
Yeah.
So both were cheating on each other.
Yep. Both of them were doing dirt. And even for a period of time, Hulk admitted that he wasn't talking to his kids. Like every time he tried to get in touch with them, he couldn't get through. And then I think that was around the same time also when Nick had his legal issues too at the same time. So a lot of stuff.
Towards the end of his life, his daughter was not talking to him. I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because some of the interviews they had with her were taped interviews from 5 years ago. She never appeared on camera, and they were taped interviews from 5 years ago. So it makes me wonder what was going on that nobody knows.
That we never know, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we're getting closer to the end of the show. You want to get your final thoughts in, my man?
Yes. You got to have mic skills in order to have a promo. And there's some WWE superstars that have great mic skills. And there's some, you look at them like, what the hell are you saying? Well, I guess you got to know how to speak, know how to use your words, and how to get it out there very quickly. But also at the same time, it's about timing. I guess you got to know how to speak, know how to use your words, and how to get it out there very quickly. But also at the same time, it's about timing.
The hell are you doing over there?
Whoa. Well,
you good?
Yeah. Where did that come from?
I have no idea. It came from your end, my man.
All right. How about now? I think what it is, I had something set up on my pod track, and I think it still connects via Bluetooth to my phone. Apologies. Maybe the show came up. My fault.
That was kind of creepy, actually.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. But like I said, it's all about timing. And you have some that have great and impeccable timing. It's a combination of timing, knowing the ad lib, and sometimes every now and then trying to see who can break character. You got a lot of good wrestlers that have great mic skills. And you had some that surprisingly were very bad in the beginning, but they've gotten better over time. Whether it's the pipe bomb or Piper's Pit or the barbershop or name any other situation, trust and believe, whether it's a full-time wrestler, whether it's a manager or anyone else, sometimes if you got to get your point across and you find a way to extend your storyline, all you need is a microphone and a few choice words. And that's all I got to say. And those are the words we're thinking about.
All right, John, thank you for coming up again, like always. So you need a good mic. You need good skills. That's all I got to say on that one. For we got a little schedule update. Some things are gonna be changing around. Not because of you see when I go over it. So tomorrow night will AI replace most jobs? The future of the work.
That's
Definitely a
going to be
conversation I'm
good.
looking forward to. Hopefully Paul can jump in because I know he works with this stuff and he can
Right.
more get into it. And on Wednesday, the show and I've been looking forward to for a while. John Wick versus James Bond. Who is the ultimate action icon?
Mm.
I got my bets already on John. So for Thursday show is going to be rescheduled because Paul is going to be out of town. So I'm going to move that as soon as I can and go from there. And we have a gray area this week, but next week we are going to be back on Wrestling Talk again. And we'll see what will come up with our asses. So, except that, guys, as always, I am the Spartan and my man Anton. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Yeah, have a good one, everybody. Good night.